See, I'm still
All
messed
right,
up,
guys,
man.
this is another episode of the Therapy Podcast with your host,
Chris
and Ray.
All right, that's a new way to start it. There we go. All right, today we have with us the owner of the Physique Academy, Nic Edgerton. Did I say it right?
That's the one, my man. Yeah, that's correct. Usually people say Edgerton, but yeah, it's Edgerton.
All right, Nic, how you doing today, man?
I'm very good, thank you, and thanks for having me on. Like, it's an honor.
Yeah, I appreciate you for coming. You got to start the podcast with your famous saying. Hey guys, Nic here. Hope you're good.
That's become my catchphrase. So
Yeah.
I had people that have like sort of made a joke out of it, but it's actually really catchy. And now that I say like, hey guys, Nic here, hope you're good, hope you're well, everyone sort of says that to me. And now it's like a thing that everyone knows. When I'm doing a video, I do that. And it's almost like a catchphrase now. So I just continue to do it for a bit of banter as well.
It's very catchy because anytime like you about not a rant video or anything like that, but whenever you make your videos, you always start with that same phrase. And I'm starting to say it with you every time you make a video.
You know
say,
what's
hey guys,
coming. Yeah.
The hey guys and the cheesy smile. Yo, well, that's pretty funny.
Absolutely.
All right. So for those that, I guess no one really on the podcast knows. So Nic here, he's my trainer, my online coach for my upcoming show that I have coming up in about 6 or 7 weeks or so. So Nic, I'm pretty much going to open the floor to you and let you kind of tell your story.
Yeah, cool, man. So, I mean, look, going back, like I started out doing the, personal training, 19 years old, got my personal training certificate, went in there, hungry to do, as best as I could. Always kept my eyes open along the way. Helped sort of anyone and everyone I possibly could. Now that's sort of the whole gist of when you start personal training. You just want to literally help the world. After a few years of doing that, you realize that what your strengths and weaknesses are, and you can't help everyone. So that's where you've sort of got to niche down and realize that, right, I'm going to work with the people that I know I can get great results for, because otherwise, if I'm just trying to help everyone, I might be just doing a disservice to the person that perhaps I don't know too much about, and they could get someone better that could help them with their journey than what I could. From there, it's sort of, I went into construction just because PT was a bit up and down. It's a bit like week to week. It's like, I've got this many clients this week, this many clients next week. Oh, this week I don't have many clients. And so it's very, very up and down. And so what I did is I went into construction because I wanted, sturdy money, sturdy job, all that sort of stuff. And it was all right, but it wasn't my passion. It was more of a thing that, okay, you can make good money in construction, so I'm going to go into that. And back then, you're quite young and naive. You don't realize that, if you're just going into a job to make money, you're gonna fail. It's not going to be something that you're going to pursue long term, and you're not going to be happy doing it. Right. And so I went back into the personal training, and then the men's physique came out. And I always loved bodybuilding. I always studied bodybuilding, but I was never very, very gifted to go to that next level of being a monster, And men's physique division came out in 2013, and I thought, that's me. Like, that is so me. It's like this athletic beach body look, almost, in a sense. And I said, I could really do this. So, I went in and I was like, I'm going to give this my all. I'm going to do a competition. And that was 2013. And I came dead last out of about 30 guys. And it was one of those preps where I prepped my ass off. I ate no food. I did lots of cardio. I just, the complete, like, what you expect you should be doing on a prep. I did it all, like all those silly things like that. And I came probably about out of 30 guys, I came dead last. But I enjoyed the experience, I enjoyed being up on the stage, all that sort of stuff. And there was even like some competitors like laughing at me at the time. And I didn't really care. I just brushed that stuff off. I don't really get offended by much. And so I did that show, and then I stepped away and I reassessed, and I thought, I really want to do this. I enjoyed that. No matter what people were saying, oh, he's shit, he'll never do it, blah, blah, blah. I was really committed and really focused. And so I stepped away for 2 years, built up my physique, got a little bit better, learned a hell of a lot along the way. And then I went back in 2015, and that's where I really made a stamp. And people were like, whoa, like this guy's made crazy improvements, like on my physique. And then when I came in, I was very, very conditioned. I came third, I believe. So I placed third in that show. And that was like, wow, like I can't believe I just did that. That's amazing. And, I learned a lot along the way. Again, I had, a great mentor at the time. And then from there, I then went again in 2016 and I won that same show that I came dead last that 3 years before. And I beat a lot of the guys that have beaten me in the past. So it just sort of showed how much further I excelled than what others were. And it was great and it wasn't to prove anyone wrong. It was more that I just loved it. And so when I hit that in 2016, that was really where I had a few people that knew me and they were like, dude, you look amazing. Can you help me? And I was like, yeah, like, I mean, I'd love to help you. Like that's a dream of mine. Like I was PTing people before. I loved that. That was my pure passion. And so I started sort of helping people with their diets and stuff like that through there. And then they started placing and winning shows and stuff like that. So that's sort of how I got into the whole coaching side of things. But I think it's taken me sort of my age and my maturity to realize that, hey, this is really where my passion lies. And this is really where I'm going to go. So in 2018, I made the decision to completely quit construction and focus solely online on my business in that sense. And then just trying to improve myself as an athlete, getting the best I can as an athlete, learning along the way, and then helping others achieve their best. That's the other thing that I love to do. And that's where, the Physique Academy was born. It was really just through all of that sort of stuff. But a lot of it came organically because people could see that, I was putting my heart and soul into it, my passion. And it wasn't to be like, oh, look at me and all this sort of stuff. It was just genuinely, I love to train and I love to improve. And that was really my way of expressing that. And, people then would, came to me, I want to be a client. And so things like there have just escalated. And now we sit, a very, very strong physique team, with some really good athletes, some really, really keen people. But, and it all I feel like that's all come from me pursuing what I'm super, super passionate about. Mm-hmm. And that's, the men's physique and helping people really achieve their very best. So that's how it's sort of all become there. I know I probably talked for a mile there and I probably could keep going, but in a nutshell, that's sort of how it all became about. Like, I believe that your passion leads your path, and I always really believe that. And I say, the most successful people at their crafts do what they do because they're so passionate about it and they succeed so well because of their passion they bring to it and the energy. So that's sort of my take on that. So hopefully I haven't ranted too much there.
No, man, you're good. You're probably one of my favorite coaches that I've seen online. And I love I don't even know how me and you connected, but I think we like follow each other on Instagram maybe like a year ago or so from now, shortly after my show.
Yeah.
And you made some certain comments to me, and I think we started talking back and forth, and we had a consultation shortly after that. And what I liked, what kind of drove me towards you was what you said. And I remember, I'll never forget, you said you wanted to be the coach that you never had.
Those are the exact words that I was just thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. And that means a lot because I've had how many coaches have I hired? So my last prep went terrible. So I kind of had the same story that you did. So my first show was almost a year ago. I did the PCA show back in September of 2019. And I'm pretty sure I got dead last in my line. And but it wasn't, I can't blame it on the coaches. Also my fault too. And I had like health issues and stuff going on last year, as I still do this year. But last year I probably hired 3 different coaches doing my last prep, which is a no-no.
Okay.
But
yeah, big time.
it's a no-no. But I would honestly say 2 of those 3 coaches were actually they're pretty terrible. And one of them that I hired, I didn't know, and I'm not gonna out them now. I'm not gonna say gonna say the name of them. But I didn't know that they were a team versus one person. So I was talking to like 3 or 4 different people during that prep for like probably like 8 weeks, and they were they were giving me cookie cutter answers and stuff to everything. And then at one point I think they went ghost on me for like a couple weeks or something like that. So I had to drop them, and then I hired somebody else who I want to say he's a good coach, but he probably had too many clients as well. So that's what I want to say. I do appreciate you in the things that you do in the fitness community, and you're very transparent with everyone as well.
I appreciate that, man. And that's it. Like, you know, the fitness like industry, a lot of people know it as like a really fake industry. You know, there's people online that say this and do this, but in reality, they're not really like that. I'm trying to be like me. I feel like myself. I'm the same person in front of my friends, my mum and dad, you know, my clients. I feel like I try to be the same person all the way around. Now, I know some people are like, oh, I couldn't be like that in front of my parents, but I am, you know, and I've always just been as real and as myself as I possibly can be around everyone. And I really try to portray that all the time. Sometimes it's good. Hey, sometimes my parents don't like the things I say, and that's cool. Not everyone's going to, you know, like you and not like you and all that sort of stuff. And that's cool, you know, but I always try and be, like you said, as transparent as possible, man, with everyone.
Right. I'm like that with my parents as well. So I used to always want to look like the good kid in front of my parents and stuff. So, and I'm like, why am I trying to look like a good kid in front of my parents when I'm not a bad person at all? So I'm not a bad person. I say some ignorant stuff sometimes, but I say it around my parents too. So like I'll FaceTime my dad, and then I might say something like way left field, and he'll bust out laughing or something, or my dad will make me laugh.
Yeah.
But I'm the same way. I'm transparent with everyone. I'm the same. I try to be the same. I'm trying to be Chris. No, I don't try to fake anything or anything like that. So you're from are you from Australia originally?
Yeah. So correct. So I grew up 24 years in Melbourne, Australia. And then one of my best friends at the time was like, hey, do you want to move to the UK with me? And I was like, okay. So I just sort of went to the flow with that because I'd never really traveled or anything. So I went and did that with him, and we moved to the UK, and then just never looked back from there. And then moved. I'm actually based in Phuket, Thailand at the moment.
Yeah. Purely
because I can get back to the UK, but do I really want to right now with everything that's going on? No.
Yeah. That's not a bad place to be right now.
No, it's very good. And to be fair, they're 90 days community COVID free. Everything's open. Everything's pretty much as normal. So, you know, it's a pretty good spot to be right now. My plans were for this year to be in the UK in May. Obviously, I had flights and accommodation all booked. I was going to be there for about 5 weeks. That all got cancelled. Not refunded. I've got like credits to do that. And then I was going to be in the UK for probably about 2 months from September, October, when like there was a lot of shows around that time as well. Again, had all that booked, cancelled due to the situation. So I'm going to plan on doing that next year. So go May for probably about a month and just constantly travel up and down the UK. Just from pretty much, you know, you guys, checking in with you guys, coming to have a session with you, meeting you guys, looking over your posing, making sure everything's on track. And then obviously being there for the shows for the people in May, because there's like Body Power and there's quite a few shows around that time as well. And then I'll probably come back in September, October again and do it all. Because I mean, I've got all the money that's already paid into that. So it's pretty much like, I may as well just
use probably saving a lot of money living in Thailand too, weren't you? Because the cost
it's crazy out here. Yeah. Well, look, the cost of living is cheap because I've been coming to Thailand for 11 years in the same place in Phuket.
Okay.
And I know it very, very well. So I'm in my 1-bedroom apartment at the moment. It's mint. Like it's a perfect 1-bedroom apartment, has everything you need. And I'm paying about £230 a month all in for that. I live about 5 minutes from the beach. I live next to a street, which is called the Fitness Soy. So the Soy is a street. And it has about 10 gyms, nutrition stores, health food prep companies, like everything in one place you could imagine.
Yeah.
And they're already relatively cheap, but right now they've got Corona price is what we call it. Okay. Everything is pretty much half price because there's not a lot of people here. So I guess I'm pretty lucky in that sense. You know, I could say it's amazing over here. For me, as like a foreigner, it is amazing right now. It's a good time to be here, but I do feel a little bit for the Thai people that businesses are struggling a lot because tourism is their main income, and without tourists, they lose a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah.
So that's sort of what I try and support, the people as much as I can with going out to eat at their restaurants or, buying things that can help keep them in business. But obviously, I can't completely fund people, but I can just do my bit to sort of help that situation. But it's very cheap living. It's a very good time for me to be here. However, for businesses and stuff out here, it's a tough time for them.
Okay. Nic, did you play sports growing up?
Yeah, I could name every sport under the sun I played, man. So, pretty much since I was, in Australia, pretty much when we're born, you get thrown into a swimming pool and it's like, kid, you better swim.
Okay.
It's like, that's like number one. So I was swimming growing up. I was like a Victorian, like state sort of champion at that. I played football, which is Aussie rules football, which isn't like soccer. Okay. Not many people understand that game. I played basketball. I did boxing. I did golf. I did fishing.
Okay.
I've done a whole range, and I've always been, and I can tell you, like I've always been obsessed with sports. So like my week used to be, before school, I'd be basketball training. After school, I'd be football training. And that was like that. And then I'd be basketball coaching. And then it was like that every single night. And then on the weekends, I'd play 2 basketball games and a football game. And then Sunday night, I'd do like boxing or something like that. So it was just like never ending, constantly like sports obsession. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've been in the industry basically your whole life when it comes to like stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
same,
absolutely.
Same here. We both, Raven's actually you're certified trainer too. What is it? NASM. So she's a certified trainer as well.
That's American. That's right. That's an American qualification. Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so
awesome.
we've been athletes our whole life as well. And then obviously going to the military kind of deaded all that. But now I guess I can call myself an athlete again, in a sense.
Hey, man. Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're prepping for a show, man. So absolutely, you're an athlete.
Yeah. I love your attitude, Nic, because you're not an asshole like other coaches are.
And that's mate. Don't even get me started. What is with this whole look, I can be an asshole in my own turn sometimes. We all can. But what is with this? I'm the best. I'm the coach. I'm the boss. Sit down, man. Do you know what I mean? I know exactly what you're saying, and it grinds my gears, man. It's just where is this egotistical? Don't get me wrong, we've all got a little bit of ego within us, because you've got to do that to really push yourself to where you want to go and have that belief. But I think some of these coaches, they take it too far, man. If the athlete wins a show, you're not the king. The athlete is the king. You're his assistants.
Yes.
It's as simple as that. It's and it just bewilders me. It's I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
You have no issue with putting your athletes on a pedestal whenever you see them doing great things. And a lot of times,
because it's not easy, it's not easy. It's hard. And so they deserve the credit.
Yeah. But I will say you make it easier. You make it easier for your athletes because you literally, and for those that are interested in hiring a PT, Nic, he lays everything out for you. You literally tell me what to eat. You don't say, and I don't like that. You know the whole if it fits your macros thing when it comes to nutrition. He doesn't do that. He literally will tell you eat this amount of ground beef or this amount of greens and all this other stuff. But you literally you write out the plan, and it's up to the athlete to execute that plan. And that's the issue I had with other coaches in the past too. Just have 1,200 calories of food this day. It doesn't matter what it is. Just make sure you get that.
Man, you got to take the guesswork out. I know what it's like to be an athlete. I've walked in the shoes of what it's like to be an athlete, and it gets very, very hard. And the last thing you want to be doing is thinking about all the other stuff that you need to do. Oh, I need to eat 1,200 calories today. That's when you're an athlete and when you're close to a show, that stuff gets stressful. It's nah, Plus, I always want to know exactly the foods that my athletes are eating, so I know what's digesting well for them. If I just had someone, look, eat this set amount of macros or eat this set amount of calories, they're going to be eating different foods here, there, and everywhere a lot of the time. And I'm not going to know what's digesting well for them, which I think is a really important part. So,
right. And the reason why I say I like your attitude, because you're one of those people that you don't want to disappoint. I know if I eat this piece of cake or try to eat this cookie and try to cheat or whatever, I feel like I'm disappointing Nick. So
you are. Don't do it, bro.
I haven't done that. Well, I guess since I mean, it's no secret, I was hospitalized last weekend, so I kind of fell off the diet for a few days. But I'm right back on. But before that, everything was like very strict, and it's easy. Like, you make it easy because you can still enjoy your food on the plan that you give your athletes and stuff. It's not just chicken and broccoli and rice all day, every day. And another thing that I like,
everything has its place, man.
Yeah, and you care about the health of your athletes as well. So I haven't had a coach that necessarily. I'm sweating all over the place.
Hey, it's those fat burners, man.
Yeah. I did cardio this morning, y'all. And I'm on this freaking fat burner. It's crazy. But you care about that. You care about the health of your athletes, as far as like you talk about gut health. You now I'm on this. What do you call it? The evening primrose oil.
Evening primrose oil. Yeah, it's essential fatty acids, man. It's essential fatty acids because it's your omega-6s and 9s, which a lot of the time I like to use higher carb, lower fats with my athletes. I find them to be a better energy source. Now, everyone's person dependent, but I find carbohydrates to be an energy source and a better energy source than fats, because they run people in a little bit harder and a little bit drier. They fill up the muscle glycogen. And so what we need to do is make sure you're getting your essential fatty acids, because you're not eating a lot of fats. Mm-hmm. And so it's like the fish oil, the omega-3 fish oils and the 6s and 9s from the evening primrose oil, that will cover bases on that. And it just sort of supplements the fats that you're not eating.
Yeah. Okay. See, you're too knowledgeable for me. I don't know anything about that. So what's one of your biggest pet peeves when it comes to coaching?
I'd have to say, that's a good question. I think I've got quite a high tolerance for things a lot of the time. But I always, when I did the consultation with you, it's the same thing I sort of say to everyone. It's like, I don't want to work with you unless you want to give me 100%. And so when someone's like, and this is very, very rare, because I try to build like a bit of a rapport with the person first. And I'm like, look, do the work, give me 100% of your efforts, and I give you 100% back. So when someone's like, yeah, and then 2 weeks later, they're like, oh yeah, well, I ate this and I didn't do this cardio and I did this training and I didn't do this and I didn't do that. And I'm like, whoa, hang on. Wait, what's going on here? So that, I'd say that, pretty straightforward. That would be a bit of a pet peeve. It's like, look, I set a pretty good plan. This is off like 15 years of knowledge and things that I've been, working with people and stuff like that, and always listening to feedback from you guys. So follow the plan. That's all I ask. It's a temporary thing. It's not a death sentence or anything like that. It's, look, just get the work done, follow the plan, execute it, and you're going to get the result that, that you say you want. So I'd say that my biggest pet peeve would be for people to not follow the plan and not really do what they say they were going to do, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I can tell you're passionate too, because there are some coaches out there that they don't care if their clients follow the suit or not, as long as the coaches are getting paid too, and you never really talk about money.
It's short money. So I will talk about money, but I love that you brought that up, because hype comes very, very quickly and goes very, very quickly. And if you don't care about your athletes, you care about their money first, that will come in very, very quickly and it will disappear very, very quickly. I'm here for the long term. All right. So I want to make sure that I'm giving my client the best possible service, them getting the best possible result, because in future, that's going to be the long game. That's going to be the long money that's coming in. So again, like you said, it's not about money. I would do this for free. However, I got to pay bills, man. I got to try and support, do good things for my family. I want to do great things with money. It's like, but again, what I would do this for free, but I've got to make money to do the things that, to help my family, to help, my life better and stuff like that. And, you know, the more sort of, and again, it helps my business grow, and it helps me then develop more things to give back more to the athletes. I can then invest in becoming a better coach as well. So I always see it as a long game. And a lot of the time, you know, like you were talking about other coaches, they come in and they think it's a get rich quick scheme, get this money in, don't deliver the result. In 2 years' time, where are they? They're bankrupt. So, you know, like I said, it's about the long game for me.
Okay. You got any questions, Raven?
No.
Okay. So this last question, and I ask this for all our guests that come on the show.
Yeah.
So when it comes to, so we'll call the Public Therapy Podcast. So I always ask our guests, what is one thing that you do that's therapeutic that you do or try to do every day in your life?
Great question. I think this is going to be a very, very easy answer, and people could probably guess it, but I swear to you, training is the most therapeutic thing for me ever. Like, people ask me that question, like, what do you do, like, for fun? What makes you feel good? What's therapeutic for you? I love to train. Like, getting in the gym for me and pushing my ass off to my very point of extinction is like, oh my God, this is the best.
Right.
So I know it sounds very cliche and very sort of an easy answer, but I'd have to say training for me is like my number one thing that just makes me feel alive and makes me feel amazing. And to be honest, if you took that away from me, I reckon, I don't know what I'd do. I'd be, who knows? So that's like my thing that keeps me straight and sane as well. Like I don't drink alcohol. I've never taken party drugs or anything like that. And I'm really proud of that. And I believe that weight training and being obsessed with the gym and obsessed with the healthy side of things and all that sort of stuff has really helped me keep away from that. Because we're, you know, honestly and openly, we're in a society and a culture that loves to drink and loves to party and take drugs. I've never really done any of that. And I believe that the gym and training has really kept me away from that. Yeah.
That's mine too. I think training is very therapeutic. You can take away the healthy foods and all the stuff, but I'm gonna always train.
No, so I'm exactly the same. You know,
I'm a foodie.
So good.
I'm a foodie. I love a good burger and all that. I love junk. But also
if you could have one cheat meal, like what would it be? Like your ultimate cheat meal?
I don't know, man. What would you say, Raven?
I feel like it's a burger.
It probably is. I just like a good, juicy, cheesy burger.
Nice. You know? I'm a pizza man. I had pizza over anything for me. So
pizza too, actually. So yeah, pizza's fine, but I think burger. When I was living I'm a pizza snob, and for me, it's hard to find a good pizza because I lived in Sicily for 5 years, and the pizza there is amazing. So so living in the UK, their pizzas doesn't taste as good as they do in Sicily. And going back to the States, the pizzas in the States doesn't taste as good as it does in Sicily, because in the States it's like a grease
juicy
pie.
Yeah. That's what I love.
Yeah. Like a grease pie. So like Five Guys, I'll take that any day. So a burger. I'm pretty simple.
Burger.
Like
I like In-N-Out burger.
In-N-Out. Oh. So okay.
Love it. A double.
So we're both from Texas, right? And so our In-N-Out is in Texas is Whataburger. So have you ever heard of that?
Never, no.
So if you ever go travel to the States and go to the South, you got to get a Whataburger.
A Whataburger.
Yeah, that's how we used to say it too. Whataburger.
What?
Yeah.
So they have In-N-Outs in Texas. A couple years ago, right? They started.
It's been longer than that.
Well, when I say couple, it could be like 20, 15.
Yeah, it's probably been like
so yeah. When they brought In-N-Out burger, like, are they like in California or something?
Yeah, that's where they originated.
So people that were from California or anywhere, they were just so hyped about it. They were like, "Oh my God, In-N-Out burger, the best thing ever!" And I went and got one, and I was like, "Oh, this is this is what everyone's talking about."
Yeah.
But then again, I hear they're not as good as they are in California, so I haven't really experienced it to say,
Yeah.
I had them in Cali when I went, so I was like, wow, they are that good.
I like Five Guys because it's consistent. No matter where you go, all like Five Guys taste the same everywhere.
Yeah, I agree with that. In the UK, in the US, everywhere. I agree.
Yeah, like McDonald's out here tastes better than it does in the States, but the McDonald's that I had in other places tastes a hell of a lot better. But in the States, McDonald's is trash. So it's just like I guess
they can be inconsistent. Yeah, definitely.
It's probably like a regional thing. So what's the food out there that you're eating out there in Phuket?
I got a meal prep company that I work with, Pure Energy, and they're supplying all my meals. I pretty much send them my exact diet and they make it. So that's pretty much the way I go. Obviously, then I go at other sort of restaurants around here because like I said, there's a fitness street and there's health food restaurants everywhere. So sometimes I'll eat out of them, and they've literally just got everything on your diet that you could possibly imagine.
Okay.
So yeah, that's sort of how I do my meals. Very, very easy, man, and cheap as well. So super cheap.
All right, Nic. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Not really, man. Unless you've got any other topics you want to speak on, but I'm happy with the questions. And
what you make that face for?
Nothing. I knew you were gonna look this way. Like, do you?
No, I'm not asking. I don't ask Raven much. Raven's quiet, man. She asks like maybe one or two questions every episode, but that's fine. She's just here to look good, I guess. You have your own podcast as well, right?
Awesome.
Oh,
I was doing one at the start of this year. I was doing the Physique Academy podcast, but just other things have gotten in the way, and so I just sort of put that on hold for the minute. And maybe I'll start it up again towards the end of the year after competition season is over, and I'll get a few of you guys on it and see how I go from there.
Okay. Ooh, the camera was skipping. So the name of your podcast is the Physique Academy?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, cool. So I can link that in the description too for this podcast, so people can go listen to the episodes on there. And then your Instagram handle, what is that? Yeah,
Instagram is Nic Dream Team Edgy. So I've still got it like that because it's linked through a few other things that I've got in my business. So whoa,
what in
the It's a ghost.
Oh wow,
there's a ghost in the room.
Yeah.
All right, it is.
This is our janky production. Okay. All right. So Nic, you're on there, and then where can people go to get a free consultation for you? And
yeah, sure, mate. Sure. Look, I just say, either email me, the Physique Academy 123 at gmail.com, or my website, thephysiqueacademy.biz/info. Alternatively, just send me a DM on Insta, and we'll get that sort of booked in. But yeah.
All right, y'all. So this is Nic. Nic is my coach, non-invasive, super friendly guy, very easy to talk to, as you all can see on this episode. One of my favorite people that I follow on Instagram. He has a wealth of knowledge. And yeah, so if you're looking into competing, or you don't just do competitors, you also do transformations as well.
Correct. I do. I probably got about 60% competitors, 40% non-competitors. The only thing I say for the non-competitors is I expect an athlete's work rate. So I'm not going to give you an easy ride and say, oh yeah, we'll only train twice a week and only eat a couple of meals a day. And there's other coaches that will do that for you. Again, I can't help everyone. I expect an athlete's style work rate.
All right. Maybe I can get Raven on the team. She's crazy. Like, she has the perfect competitor build. Like, her legs are crazy. She can be an athlete if she wanted to, but she likes pizzas and burgers and I don't know, pasta.
A lot of the things that you have him eating, like, I don't eat sweet potatoes, and it's the basic things that I would need to be eating.
Yeah,
and I'm just like,
she don't like oatmeal and stuff.
I can't suck it up just to do it. Oatmeal.
I'll tell you something, right?
Hold on, Nic, you're breaking.
I'll tell you something, Raven.
Mm-hmm.
Burgers taste 10 times better when you've been dieting all throughout the week.
Yeah, but you got to get her there. The thing is, you have to find the food that she will eat. She's very picky when it comes to that type of stuff. Yeah. But you're pretty good at finding alternates and stuff. But I think Raven would be a good challenge for you, though. Be a pretty good challenge. But All right, but yeah, we're just talking at this point. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the episode unless you have anything else that you want to add, Nic.
I'm all good, man. I'm sweet. Thank you. Just
Okay.
thanks for having me on, man. Like, it's a complete honor. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man, and thanks for everything that you do for the fitness industry. And yeah, that's it. And I'm about to go train. I'm about to go do legs.
My man. Enjoy.
All right. All right, Nic. Well, it's been another episode of Public Therapy Podcast with host Chris and Nic Edgerton.
That's the one. See you later.
All right.